Hey, beautiful Miss Pammy Pooh. It's good to see you, gorgeousness. It is good to see you. As you know, Scorpio. Hello, my loves. Hello. Good Friday to you all. Shout out. Shout out. I just wanted to already go ahead and be here to greet you on this wonderful Friday. I hope y'all doing okay. You can let me know in the chat if you would like. Y'all know we get started around here around the 5-minute mark, somewhere like that right there. But come on and make yourselves at home. Sequently free. Hello, my loves. How are you? Scorpio says, I'm doing well this morning. Hope all is well with you, Tiff. All is well. You already know what it is over here. You already know that down in my soul cries holy. You already know. Whoa, down in my soul it cries. You heard me? Straight like that. Mama 3, shout out. Shout out. Thank you so much for being the first on the main line. Thank you so much, Mama 3. It looks to me we back. You heard me? Let me show that some love right here. Thank you so much, my beautiful Mama 3. I really appreciate you, sweetheart. Speaking of, let me sip a little water and we gonna talk about it. Okay, we gonna talk about it. Thank you, my sugar. Let me sip a little water real quick. Hey, Buttercup, baby. Good to see you. Whoa. Excuse me. That was some good water. Welcome in. I love you, Mama 3. I love you so much. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being a friend. Shout out to you. We are nearing the 5-minute mark, and I'm gonna go ahead and just begin speaking because listen, the message waits on no man. You heard me? Listen, Linda. First thing I want to say is God is good. Let me tell you something. I done told y'all that listen, when you is head into something a little different, it's some different types of trials and tribulations that you may go through. You heard me? You might find yourself in the lion's den or in the belly of the whale. You might find yourself in some interesting places, low places, depending on how you look at it. In my eyesight, I have took advantage of low places because I already knew and had faith of a different type of situation. Now, I was inspired in this live by having a little chat with one of my beautiful GGs. I was having a chat with most of my GGs, and one in particular that inspired this message was the beautiful queen, the wonderful, beautiful queen. All right. Affectionately known to us as what she's known to us as. Now, listen, Linda. Something that she said to me very, very recently. I'm gonna actually wait to I'm gonna wait till I see her, shout her out. I'm sure she'll be here shortly. I'm sure she'll be in here in just a second. But I wanna shout her out in this moment. I'm gonna see if she make it here in the next minute or so. So what I'm going to talk about though, what I'm about to bring forth to those of you that are currently with me is yesterday I've been talking to y'all about, the devil's tricks, trials, tribulations, how to combat things and stay vigilant. You understand? So it's not about not being tested, it's about how you move about in the test, right? Hey, fixing my crown. Excuse me. Welcome in, beautiful. Welcome in. It's a pleasure to greet you, sweetheart. So, as you all may know, in the past few weeks, especially where, of course, well, really only where this, YouTube has been concerned, I've had my share of trials and tribulations, Um, in particular, in this last moment, I knew that, you know, I had quickly put my channel into a direction that I'm very proud of, a direction that not only serves my people, but first and foremost serves me. This is this has been a beautiful last few weeks, and I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why. My sister is not in here right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. She knows a lot of my journeys and has even been such a great, great help in the navigation of certain journeys I've been in concerning YouTube. And I'm really, really grateful to her, my other GGs, Mama Three, Tink, Ty. Listen, all my G and my cousin TC, beautiful queen, love them all, love y'all all. Beautiful Queen said something to me today that stuck with me, and I wanted to bring forth this message to you all. When as you know, on August the 4th, two days, really about, yeah, 2 to 3 days ago, um, I had gotten demonetized and really couldn't understand why. Because the reason really, I'm not even gonna go there, right? It was what it was, all right. Shout out to the YouTube squad, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the YouTube team. They are amazing, an amazing, team. You heard me? Now, the purpose is, as a human, I didn't really understand what I was going through or why. You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't. But one thing, hey Danny, sweetheart, one thing I decided to do is stay to the course. My response was to stay to my course, right? My response was to acknowledge, at some point, acknowledge what was just simply the tricks of Satan, which I declared. And I had also declared that I wasn't going to let Satan's tricks be first and foremost. I was going to let him know how insignificant his tricks was to me. All right. And that's exactly what I did, and stayed course to my teaching, stayed course to showing up, and so on and so forth. And lo and behold, just 48 hours later, my page is back monetized, as well as strike free and all of those things. And it is a blessing. And it shows me, hey Terry Love, hey Miss Leela, it's good to see all of you. It shows me that It's not about not being tested. It's about how you maneuver within the test. And me keeping my eyes on the prize, which was God, and teaching the word. I am exceptionally pleased to tell you that when I speak it, I also walk it. And I was walking in my faith. I was walking in my faith, to which what God has for me will be for me, in spite of attacks, in spite of, and even though what God has for you is going to be for you, you know? And I was able to show in 48 hours that when you stay true to the game, true to who you are, when it's not fake, when it's not phony, you can pass the test. See, the same way Job passed his, you know? You know, he didn't know he was being tested. He didn't know. He didn't know, you know. But one thing about it is when you stay, in spirit and in truth, God will turn some things around. You know what I mean? I didn't put my sights on worrying about the devil's tricks. I put my sights on the word and I trusted in it. So the only reason why I'm sharing this particular story is just to show you that you have walked this with me in real time when I announced to you that I have been demonetized, and I didn't really truly understand, why, and this, that, and the third. But I stayed faithful and I did the works. I did what was asked of me. I didn't just do nothing, you know. But what I told you all is I said, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna handle that. Yeah, I'm gonna handle that when it's time to. But I wanted to make sure that I handled presenting God's word, and my teachings came before putting God's word to the side to worry about this or that, worry about something that was tied into money. That's what God means right there. When all this stuff that I've been teaching you guys, I showed my heart to you all, right? I showed it by me going through some trials and tricks of the devil myself in real time. In real time. This is where I've been presenting the word at, right? This is where I've been presenting the word at. So where was the devil trying to affect me at? Where I was presenting the word. Where I was presenting the word. See, because I had just went through a valley, a seven strike valley, you hear me? I had just went through, thank you, Sister Gal, my love. Thank you so much. I had just went through a valley just 6 weeks ago or so, fighting seven strikes. You hear me? It was a valley of conditioning. It was a conditioning, and therefore that was me. I having to do the homework. You heard me? So going through certain processes prepared me for a different process that would not be too far ahead. Now I'd have to fight for my monetization, this, that, and the third. Just 6 weeks ago, I was fighting to keep my channel. But what I do is I stay faithful and just do the work. And now with this last step, it was like I couldn't even feel weary in my heart about it, because I know what God has for me is going to be for me. Like what God has for you is going to be for you. It doesn't matter about the attacks of the enemy. It doesn't matter of the attacks of physical enemies or the attack of a spiritual one like the devil. It's all hand in hand. It doesn't matter. I stayed true to the power I know God's word is. And the result was the result. This is why I'm so thankful. Hey, Miss McCorkle, beautiful, and thank you, sweetheart. I love you much, and I really, really thank each and every one of y'all for being here. You dig? I truly, truly do. So when my sister, beautiful queen, said, "Well, you know what this, really what this is." break room is sometimes your response, most times, all the time perhaps, your response determines your result. Hmm? That's what she said to me. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, don't you know no good? Welcome in. Hey, here with Tree, my love. And there she is right there. Beautiful Queen is my inspiration for this live when she said, your response determines your result. And that really hit hard. That really hit hard because everything that I speak on, oh, it's okay, sweetheart. You know, I know you working, but I wanted to tell you thank you for inspiring this live with with what you said to me. Your response determines your result. Shout out to you, sis, because that is just like when Miss Eugenia says, stay of good courage. That message there sticks with me, you know. You wrapped up my journey in such an eloquent sentence. Your response determines your result. And I wholeheartedly believe that. My response to the things happening was to stay vigilant in the word. My response to what was happening was to stay faithful, to stay on course, to stay doing what needed to be done. And therefore, the result, my response was good. Therefore, my result was good. And I wanted to share that with you all because I will carry that beautiful queen with me. And I thank you for those words. She said that something that she told someone in her life was a friendly reminder of how we are always in a battle of flesh and spirit. And beautiful queen said, do the opposite of what your flesh tells you to do. Mm, 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 mm. Beautiful queen, you've been on one. You heard me. You've been on one, you know? You've been on one. How simple, how simple. Doing opposite of what your flesh tells you to do means that you are operating in your spirit. When you're operating opposite of flesh, it means you operate in your spirit. Mm, mm. Hey, beautiful Miss Roslyn. It's wonderful to see you. So wonderful. So wonderful. So I ventured to guess that what I'm trying to tell you all is think carefully on your response. Sometimes no response gets you a better result. You know, so, some- sometimes not giving your enemy the power, whether this is a spiritual enemy or a physical one. Sometimes responding gives our enemy the power. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that's what your enemy is looking for. Your response tells your enemy if what they're doing is working. And I assure you that the devil works in your neighbor. The devil works sometimes through a family member. The devil works through your subscribers. The devil will work through whoever the devil can get a hold to try to shake something else. Normally, when a person turns when you see evil things and this, that, and the third that are being done to people and things of that nature, it's the devil moving. The devil uses vessels to get to other people. Hmm? It's not always about the person who's doing the evil. Well, it is in a lot of ways, because if the devil can use you for evil, it means that you're opening for negativity, is way too open. You just didn't leave a crack, and that's all the devil needs. It means that somewhere the devil done latched on to a weakened area in you, right? When the devil can push you to do evil, speak evil, all of these things right there, it means that somewhere within your heart he has found a place to hide in, to tuck his place in, where love should only reside. He has found the devil can't latch into your spirit unless you leave an opening there. And it usually comes in the form of, if I can get you to hate someone, if I can get you to turn away from love. See, when we turn away from God, it's about turning away from the fruits of God. This is what turning away from God means. And I've been teaching this thing all really all week long. It's if you know the 12 fruits of God, and these are things that you have shut off into your heart. These are places where the devil dwells. And to know what the devil fruits are, again, we're not talking about some little evil demon, little red man is hiding in your body using you like a puppet. No, this, when the devil is in you, or when God is in you, it is about the fruits of each one's spirit, the fruits of God and the evil characteristics of the devil. When the devil is in your life and can get you to do evil, it means that you are operating in hate and negativity, in discouragement. You are operating in vengeance and things of that nature. That's what it means when the devil is dwelling inside of you. It means that you're moving within the devil's rotten fruit instead of God's. And see, what I was encouraged to do when I was speaking to y'all all week long is I was encouraged to stay within God's fruits, even when there were attacks, different types of attacks, where the devil was trying to test me to see if I would switch sides. I showed the devil that there is one place that's a little harder to get. Listen, Linda, I don't switch sides nowhere. I move accordingly. You heard me? Sometimes switching away from something doesn't mean going to something else. It can sometimes mean resulting back to yourself. It could mean moving back to yourself. Therefore, being able to move into the realm of God's fruits. See, sometimes listen, Linda, I'm trying to tell you, your response determines your result. Sometimes the enemy wants to, all the time. Let me remove the sometime. The enemy always wants to do a shakedown. When you are learning ways to combat negativity, depression, grief, hey, shorty red, baby. When you are finding ways to move in love in areas where the devil just know you gonna move in hate. Listen, Linda. See, you got some, when the devil be trying to touch areas of your life, he's trying to touch the areas where God's fruits are within you. Where there is love, he wants that area to be covered in hate. Where you are a giving person, he wants that area covered in selfishness. Where you are looking unto the beauty of others, he wants you to worry about your vanity. Instead of uplifting others, he wants you submerged in pride. These things aren't about if there's a angel dripped in white fluttering around your body, or if there's a pitchfork red man dwelling inside of your body. It's about the spirit you operate in. It's about the fruits. And I decided to be inside of the fruits of God. I decided when an enemy's calling my name, I still move without hate. I learned to replace attacks with teaching. attack backs and lick backs with teachings. I decided that if I keep my ear to the word in this hour, see, everybody might not need the word in this hour, but to combat the enemies of my life, I figure if I keep God's word in my ear, I can't hear you. Hmm? If I look to things of the heavens, I can't see things below. You heard me? I'm not supposed to listen, Linda. See, I'm just telling you what had to work for me. What had to work for me is when I start thinking of things, centering my focus on things above. I stopped tapping in to things below my spirit. Mm. Or at best, stop letting it control the fruits of my heart. I understood that I could leave people's anger with them. I didn't have to take on anyone's anger. I don't have to take on anyone's malicious intents. I don't have to take on or listen to. Guess what? The way your words can't enter my heart gate is if I'm not searching to listen to your words. Because guess what? When you go searching for somebody's negativity, you give it a chance to enter your spirit, especially if you're not conditioned. See, when you get in conditioned, you can listen to things. When you're really conditioned, you can listen. You can even hear it. It can come across your ears, but not be able to touch your heart. It can go in one ear and clean out the other. See, our response is all about who we are. Learning when we're moving in weakness, because baby, it's easy to give up. It's easy to get a lick back. It's easy to operate in vengeance and things of that nature. It's easy to give in. But I'm relearning that the strength ain't in the swords in your hands. It's in the swords of your heart. See, the true weapon is the weapon of the mind. It's not how good you fight. It's not how fast you swing your sword. It's the one that can say, you know what? I can avoid us all, anybody getting cut by detaching myself from a situation that, if it continues, only brings negativity around myself and around others. That's it, and that's all. We have to really realize what's serving us. Now, in the meantime, and in between time, I am thankful to have been staying the course. I am thankful that I showed the devil that, listen, Linda, I'm not here to say you're not gonna try to attack and test me. I'm not here to be scared of your test. See, it's not the oncoming test we should fear. If we fear going through the test, that means we already know we're not conditioned for it. I looked Satan in the eye and told him to get somebody else to do it. That's what I did. I told him, I gave him a piece of my mind and he know what I truly think. I let him remove something from me that he thought I was like others. He thought I was like others, where chasing chasing a coin was gonna be more important than chasing that word. And you know what I did? I smacked them right clean in the face. Told them to get somebody else to do it. You want my mind and worry. You want me to worry about something. I don't got time to worry. Worry don't come with the word. You heard me? I had to let him know. How dare you think that God's word was just over here being said and not understood? See, I'm teaching understanding of the word. And you gonna try me. You wanted to make sure I really knew what I was talking about. Well, there's your proof. There's your proof right there. Your response determines your result. Come through. Faith over fear. Hey there, lovely Jones. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. Let me see. I'm just making sure I didn't miss nobody earlier, and I don't think I did. So yes, like it is truly beautiful how things work, and how your energy is your energy determines your response. I told you emotions determine thoughts, and thoughts determines actions. I kept my emotions steadfast in love. I kept my emotions fearless. I kept my emotions faithful. You heard me? Therefore, I didn't speak no negativity on my life, on my situation, or my channel. Huh? I knew that God's works are nothing less than good and amazing. Nothing less than good and amazing. I trusted in my God's power. And I knew that, listen, Linda, my response to the devil was that you can't beat my God. What did I tell y'all yesterday before I got off live? I said, baby, the only thing that makes what you say out loud be overturned or won by the devil is if you do not believe in God's power. If that's only words and not felt in your heart. He learned that I believed in God's power. I didn't have to worry about his test because all I had to do was stay steadfast in what my plan was and what my plans are and what my purpose is. Seven strikes, demonetization, friendships or supposed friendships astray, all sorts of things. But all these steps did was bring me back closer to the word. You've definitely been tested by the devil in the past couple of weeks. I'm beyond proud of you. The devil even tried to match you with biblical verses, and you stayed committed to God's word. You better come through. Now, there's some folks out there understand the journey. Now, this ain't no journey. Y'all ain't witnessed some steps to. You hear me? You hear me? Some of y'all understand without very little words having to be spoken over here. Nothing but the right words have to be spoken over here. You heard me? Thank you, Tinker, sweetheart. Thank you so very much, sweetie. Thank you. She says, ooh, we look at God. We are back, baby. Come through. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really, really appreciate you, love. And yes, we are back showing that devil, listen, we ain't missed a beat in spite of and even though. Blessings didn't stop because of the devil's attacks. You heard me. Love didn't stop being spreaded here because of the devil's attack. And you hear me? The word did not become smited and silenced because of the devil's attack. I walked y'all through this, and I'm telling you, we on this journey together. It's not me. I'm being put through some things right in front of your eyes and showing you. I pulled up to show you. This is a testimony you've watched with your own eyes. It's a hey, Philly girl juice. Good to see you. It's a testimony you watched. I'm not just here telling you about it. You watched it. Y'all got the emails that your memberships had been paused or tucked away or wherever that they had went. You watched it. I didn't even know my own page had been demonetized. I heard it from someone who was a member that said, why would their membership pause? I didn't even know. Why? Because I wasn't on the dollar sign when I went live. I don't know if it happened during, after, before. I'm not for sure. I wasn't concerned with that. Thank you so much, cousin. Shout out. Thank you so much. I'm super proud of you, cousin. Uplift and stay uplifted. You heard? I'm super proud of us. Thank you so much. Because listen, Linda, you remember when I first started this thing, it was inspired by your affirmations and things. So shout out to you. You know, it's a beautiful thing, and to me, very divine, you know. My cousin is the queen of affirmations. You heard me? Listen, Linda, thank you so much, sweetie pie. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let me see. Hey, Shelly, baby. Good to see you. Good to see you, love bug. I'm going down the line here. Hey, Miss Keita. Good to see you, sweetheart. And shout out to you, because, baby, you was on fire yesterday. You heard me? Jaleel, hey, I'm late. Let me see what we say here. Hey, everyone, I'm late, but I'm here. Keep spreading God's word, Tim. Thank you, Jaleel. It means a lot, for real. Y'all don't know. Y'all are big packages of support. Thank you so, so much, family. Thank you so much. So yes, my GGs have definitely been big inspirations through my journey, you know. The battle was not the battle was the Lord's the whole entire time. The battle was the Lord's the whole entire time, you know. And it says faith without works is dead, and I'm so thankful for having a great support system, you know what I mean? Like, listen, Linda, and I can tell you this, unlike Job's friends, who really wasn't really true friends at all, because their minds was set on all that Job had lost, which is nothing wrong with being empathetic. But oh, shout out. TC says, baby, I'm 24 months strong in this thing. Me and us must never part. Matita, I love you, cousin. You know it's up and it's stuck. And thank you for being who you are for real. You already know how I feel about you. That's the way I feel about you. Oh. Listen, Linda. Shout out. I love you, cousin. Thank you so much. That's coming to show up. Hey, Tink Tink. Thank you so much for the blessing, sis. And I love you. Thank you, cousin. Thank you so much. Welcome in to everybody. I'm just very thankful for the support and for all that you all do. I'm not gonna be with you maybe about 15 more minutes. I'm gonna get off about 1. And but yes, I just wanted to bring this message and this word to y'all, you know, that don't let nobody tell you no different, you know. And what I tell y'all yesterday, when you get yourself in a word and you're being tested, you know, it's not a punishment. is proof. Your response determines your heart, you know? Your response determines where you are with it, what you ready for, you know? And I was determined to show God, I'm determined to show myself approved step by step, and also show that it's not about being perfect, because that's something I will never be. You hear me? I ain't wake up and I ain't became perfect over these past few weeks. I've been putting in the work to my heart. So I want to move with more righteousness. I want to bring out more positivity. That doesn't require me to be perfect. It just requires me to continue to work on myself. I'm on nobody's time but my own. And I'm not one of those people who gonna continue to make excuses like it has to be an overnight success. Like you just wake up and all of a sudden you Mrs. or Mr. Do no wrong, no this, that, and the third, speak no wrong. No, we not here to show up perfect. We here to come as we are. We here to come as we are. We here to start with the recognizing things that we may need to work on, not because we out here trying to prove something to the next person. Mm-mm, not at all. You know, not at all. It's about doing the work, not just on screen. If it was about being on screen better, then guess what? That means that you still operating in this, that, and the third. No. It's about starting the practice somewhere, starting putting it into practice. The things that you want to change, you have to maybe like for instance, I told y'all that I got a potty mouth, right? So me getting my head into the word is a way to help me combat in this area. This is a certain area that's helping me combat taming my language. You know, it's me testing myself. So I'm not here because you don't have to bring forth the word because all of a sudden you trying to show that you this, that, and the third. No, you got to start your work somewhere. And if having my head in a word, a little more in a word and a little less in drama and things that aren't serving my spirit, listen, I'm here for it. It serves my spirit to speak the word into my heart. You know, I want to have more room to focus on good works than people's bad works. You know, if everybody making excuses, well, you when you start, you supposed to just be at step 10 when you start. If you was really serious, I mean, you wouldn't need step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You would already no. That's just the devil talking. The devil will tell people not to hear the word because they know they also may get entertainment in other places. No, it's not about you. It's about it resonating within you and your heart how it needs to be and when it needs to be. There's nothing about this walk that says, you got to avoid the word because you may still have a foot in your flesh. So do I. But while some may be completely void of their spirit and 100% in the flesh, maybe my teachings had got a person who's 100% in the flesh, maybe they 90 today. Maybe they 80% in their spirit. Thank you so much, sweetie pie. Thank you, my cousin. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tink Tink. Thank you. I really appreciate you, beautiful loves. Thank you so much for the gifts of encouragement. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. So, I'm like, listen, Linda, you got to be aligned with things. Everybody can't go. Sometimes it's not about it's not about questioning things. It's about maintaining your purpose. And it's not about what other people think of your journey. It's not about starting your journey on somebody else's time. You got to do what your spirit leads you to do. You got to let whatever's going to speak the loudest. And unfortunate for the devil, his test was a whisper compared to the power in God. You hear me? I made the devil feel just like he did when God cast him down, when he realized he didn't have a choice to stay in God's space, huh? Sometimes you just got to remove your enemy from your space, huh? And sometimes your space could be the spaces of your mind, the spaces of your heart, the spaces of your eye gate, all of that. Do you see how the word helps us to thrive in these areas? God showed you, listen. Now, yeah, there was a battle. Yeah, there was a battle. But because you know how sometimes I told y'all your enemy can be relentless. See, God knew that the devil would know how to sit down. The devil moves with vengeance, constant vengeance. Now, I know some of y'all might know somebody who just, can't stop moving in constant vengeance, don't know how to take a loss and move on, don't know how to take a hit and move on, don't know how to take a L and move on. Have y'all ever ran into that type of situation? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Hey, Mel, love you. Because I surely have. You heard me? I surely have. Oh, cousin, thank you so much. Thank you. The battle is mine, said the Lord. Yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Thank you, beautiful. But I know that I have, sometimes your enemy can be relentless because guess what? Just like God doesn't sleep nor slumber, neither does Satan. Satan doesn't sleep nor slumber. He always seething, always operating in vengefulness all through his heart chakra. Okay? Period. I've been there, honey. But that's why God shows us, hey, you remove yourself out the way of you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta get out of the way. You control your atmosphere. Hey, Miss Kathy, baby. Thank you so much, beautiful queen. Thank you to my GGs. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. My GG's in here showing out. And Sister Gal, thank you for the blessing too. Thank you, my love. Thank you. GG's, y'all ain't playing. Y'all not playing. Y'all over here showing the devil. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. The GG said what they said. Okay. The GGs said what they said. Oh, oh, all right. All right. On the set, you dig? But yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. So pay attention to how you respond. Like my sister, beautiful queen said, your respond determines your result. Sometimes if you want things to be better, your response might have to be better. Your response might have to be to not respond at all or to do like the word says, like When somebody spewing hate, continue to operate in love. Yes, Melly Mel. Listen, another win for God and another loss for Satan. You heard me? Come through. Come through. Ain't God good? Ain't God good? Child, God been showing all the way out. God been showing all the way out. So sometimes you may have to operate and, when somebody's spewing hate on you, you may need to leave that person where they at and let them dwell in their sickness all by themselves. All you can do is, you can either pray for them or you can simply give it to God. You know what I'm saying? And give or give them to themselves, right? Um so thank you so much, cousin. Gigi's is in full effect. You hear me? Goodness. The GGs is in full effect. I love y'all so much. And yes, he will do it. So that's something, like I said, I'm encouraging people that, everyone will do things on their own time. All I can do is spread it out there, be a positive force out there and just say, sometimes, if you truly want something to dissipate, sometimes you have to dissipate it in your mind. That person's vengeance or hatred or whatever might not dissipate on its. Thank you so much, Miss Kathy. Thank you so much. Okay, now the family is just showing out. I love y'all. Sometimes dissipating something is to dissipate it from you, right? It's to remove it from you, you know? And it's the stay with goodness in your heart. When the devil trying to trick you out of your spirit, when the devil brings someone to be a test, knowing it's a test of the fruits of your heart. God tells us we're supposed to stay in calm nature. We're supposed to stay in a peaceful nature. We are not supposed to let the enemy's attacks bring us unrest, just like I presented, in these matters. I rested real good. Hey, Miss Shawn, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, beautiful. I was talking about you behind your back earlier, not in this live, but literally behind your back on the back end with a good friend of mine. And yeah, we was talking about how much we think you is, you know, super cool and we really be enjoying your sentiments. So I keep pushing, Miss Shawn, keep pushing and just know you got some folks that just like that hear me, that hear you and you know this, you know? You someone else that I know that is making a difference out here. We can choose us, those of y'all that's here, we can choose to make a difference in wherever areas that it's received. Everything gonna move at its own time, but we can still choose to push it out there, push positivity into the algorithm, right? We don't have to and trust me, if you looking around, it there are results. There are results, family. There have been some beautiful results. I know that these positive words out there reaching somebody. It ain't gotta be for everybody. You can't worry about who it's gonna reach. The goal is just to keep going and not even you ain't even gotta be told that you making a change in somebody's life. It's the trust that you are. The devil don't want nobody's hearts changed. The devil wants me to look like ain't nothing working. The devil was trying to test me, so I would result back to feeling like, no, okay, I gotta jump back in the mud just to no. I ain't give him what he wanted. I didn't give the devil what he so greatly wanted. I'm not looking for perfect people to join me on my journey. I'm looking for people just like me who's recognized areas in their spirit that can be strengthened, that they want to acknowledge and start somewhere. That's what right, Danny. Exactly, sweetheart. That's who I'm looking for. The same as God. I'm not looking for nobody that think they're too perfect and their life is so perfect that they don't need God. I'm looking for people that know even if they even with areas in their lives that they can work on their attitude, work on their anger, work on this, work on that. We're not gonna wait. It's a start if you are even thinking about any of these things. If you find yourself even in my chats, knowing what type of wave I'm on, it's for a reason. This type of journey ain't about waiting on nobody to hold your hand. This journey here, I couldn't wait for nobody to hold my hand. I had to make a declaration for my own spirit. But fellowshipping in this moment, even if it starts with one place and one place turns into two, look at Sean B. Two places starts into three. Heck, it was TC's that it truly also helped to inspire me. Knowing how she's constantly stayed in her affirmations and in her uplifting spirit. That's what she operates in over above anything else. So while those like myself, queen of the underdogs, you heard me? The underdogs, you out here making a difference. I embrace being an underdog. I move more freely being an underdog. I love it. And for those of y'all that are the underdogs too, you making a difference. The same way my cousin's affirmations struck something in me. Miss Shawn told me I struck something in her. Miss Shonda struck something in somebody else. It's a movement, y'all. It just got to start. It had to start somewhere. It's a movement. Not all movements starts off popularity. All movements don't start with the masses. It's all about each one teach one, guaranteed to reach one. It's not about how big the movement is in people. It's about how strong the movement is in each person's heart. Come on now, don't let that fly over your head. Don't let that fly over your head. Remember, I teach it all starts with us. It all starts with us first. Before it starts with who sits to the right of us and to the left of us, it all starts with us. Because who ends up to the right and to the left of us, the front and the back of us, that know that this is what your circle is. Your family circle, your friend circle, your this, that, and the third. Everything's supposed to align for the greater good of God's purpose. Sometimes God will remove some things without you quite knowing why or how or this, not even a how, but the why, something you may think is a surefire thing. Let me tell you something. When you start operating in God's fruits, things start getting molded that you don't even understand why it is getting molded into something. It's because it's being shaped for its purpose. When something has a purpose, when someone finds their purpose, a molding, a reshaping starts to happen. A reshaping starts to happen. What's wrong? What was an accident? I played in the devil's den far too long. God is working on me and I'm enjoying it all. Me too. Me too. Anything wrong? What y'all trying to reverse? What happened, man? Y'all need me? What was an accident? I don't know what's happening, but however, um, y'all let me know if you need me. But yes, oh yes, oh yes, so oh, okay, okay, it's my business. Okay, well, I'll continue my hosting business. That's all y'all had to drop in the chat. My business. All right, I know. Listen, Linda, I know how to stay in my field. You heard me. That's all you. That's all you had to tell me. My business. To tell me to get about y'all business. That's it. That's all. Listen. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. You hear me? But but yeah. So this is really, like I said, my message is just, I wanted to share these messages with y'all. I wanted to share this thing with y'all. And I'm very thankful to to know that some people really see, what's going on and really understand. So I think that's dope and all that good stuff. Let me see. Okay, I'm still in my business. Okay, my bad, my bad. And thank y'all to those that did stop by because I know Sister Dawn is live and I know she probably got plenty of tea to pour. All right. That's why I came with this message so y'all wouldn't be torn between spirit and flesh. Okay. I took the option out of you. You heard me? Now y'all did good. Y'all did good now. If you come back to listen to this replay, just know y'all did good and I'm proud of you. Oh, Mama 3 said I fixed it again. Well, y'all, whatever's going on, y'all some good fixing mods, okay? I love when I don't have to know the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. That's dope. Danny, they did good, Danny. Danny, they did good. I think they made it past the 1 o'clock mark, even. I think some of them chilled to 1:05. You heard me? Now, listen, Linda. See, I'm working with y'all now. I came an hour early so y'all can get this good word. And you wouldn't have to have one ear in your spirit and one ear in your flesh, okay? I came with the spirit message for you early. You see? You see how I care? Now, y'all don't ever say I don't care about you now. I strategically came at noon so you can catch this word. Okay. Ah! You heard me. Belly Bell, Mama 3. You see? Ungrateful. You heard? They ain't even come back and say thank you. You heard me? Listen, Linda. Miss McCork. You see how I care about the people. I strategically came an hour before dawn so they wouldn't be torn between their spirit and their flesh. I done turned your spirit loose, okay? We all got work to do, all right? Now, I judge not lest be judged, okay? Because I'm probably gonna catch the replay. All right. I just can't leave at exactly 1 o'clock. The devil be trying me. You heard me? Listen, Linda. I gotta have a little more discipline than y'all. You heard me? Listen, now the teacher has got to have more discipline than the student. All right. We all got some work to do, and that includes me. All right. Now, I was laughing at some things this morning. I ain't had no business. I said, see, you see, listen, they done gone and left the upper roof. They did good though. I had the message I had planned for just around the hour, the message. So they was able to get the message. Now we ain't gonna listen. We got some work to do. You see how I've softened the blow before they left and said, listen, we all at our own pace. Don't run from the message though. All right. Don't run from the message. We all on our own pace. I'm just thankful you made the time to show up for it. You heard me? Now, listen, Linda. Miss McCorkle says there's nothing but a spiritual warfare going on, and we have to choose to be on the right side. Nobody is perfect. Absolutely, baby. You better say it, Miss McCorkle. That's why I'm trying to let people know. You ain't got to be afraid of the spirit because we all operating in flesh one way or the other. All right. And now I ain't never gonna be perfect in the flesh. All right. I just want to do work. Now, it's some areas I ain't got to sit to the side. Now, I got strength to strength in some areas. So you heard me? Starting with my potty mouth. All right. Starting with my potty mouth. There's some areas I'm working on. That's a place I'm working on in speaking, using my words. You see how this work? I knew where my area was, an area I wanted to work on. So I had to do something that was going to help me in my area. If I'm talking about the good Lord, I'm not talking about negative things, and I'm not talking about using my tongue for negativity. You see? See, when you're serious about what you're working on, you know, you got to start somewhere. For me, it was to bring the word to my channel so I can have an area I automatically start to tame myself into practice becomes habit. Habit becomes a lifestyle. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. It's not about working on yourself in my area. It's about each individual, It's not about coming up in here and us hiding ourselves. No. I knew my area was my mouth. So as far as using potty language. So I needed to speak on a topic that kept me from potty language so I can keep this in practice. I'm using the word that help cure some things within myself. And I'm letting you also use the word to help strengthen you in areas that works for you. You heard me? That's what I want everybody to take it as. This is our individual walk. We sharing the scriptures and the teachings together because before I bring it to y'all, I'm learning. I'm reeling it in. I'm studying. I'm not just, listen, I take the word very seriously when it comes to me bringing it forth. It's not just a memorized script. I'm not one of them. You know how people just think they the closest to God, the more scriptures they can recite. I'd rather, do it in a way that's steady for understanding instead of race. I'm not one that's itching to say, I read a complete Bible in its completion. No, I want to be one of those that understand the Bible in its completion. There's a difference. You so funny, Mel. I got you. I got you. So yes, indeed, so that's just what I'm inspiring is, for everybody to take this stuff on as they need to. Some people may hear it, it might not, it might go in one ear out the other. Somebody might take these words and cultivate it. I'm not going to give up on the few because it's not for the masses. That's why the road is narrow. That's why the right way is narrow and the wrong way or the less righteous way is wide. And even things in everyday life, We can see even in our algorithms how these things work. We see in the algorithm. It's a struggle to grow in the word, just like with a channel, child. Just like with a channel. You can quicker grow a channel in drama than you can in positivity. And that's something you have to be prepared for. And guess what prepares you? Knowing what your journey is. If your only journey is to use your channel for growth and popularity and numbers and things, well, it's easy to stay in certain areas. But when you really want to have purpose, when you ready to focus on purpose, that stuff there becomes null and void to the situation. That's when it's really, I'm just telling you my journey, it's a bigger picture, you know you can, grow numbers by entertainment, but it's often a slow and steady movement to save souls while you saving your own. And that's what you got to know what your purpose is. Is your purpose just to grow a channel or to be purposeful? Well, I grew the channel in drama. Yes, I did. I grew the channel in drama. I was successful in my area of drama. I was successful in my area of roasting and going back and forth. There is nothing about the story that I'm closing in any type of defeat. I feel, listen, listen. It's unfortunate to say that in my not so positive doings, I left it feeling like it took its completion. I don't want to say satisfied. I just want to say some things, it comes full circle. And I'm more passionate about things that bring growth and positivity. I enjoy talking about things that have nothing to do with something I have to call somebody. I'm really grew tired of the lifestyle, YouTube lifestyle of having to be this, be that, and it just uh. It wears down, it wears down. Even when it could be majority in laughter and this, that, and the third, not all of it is laughter. Some of it can be taxing to your spirit, especially if it's not about what you say taxing your spirit, but having to hear certain things and see certain things can be very taxing to your spirit, you know? And I'm tired of uh taking away from my spirit. I've been feeling amazing. All right. Through these trials and tribulations, I've been feeling amazing because when you are literally know that you are being tested and you are winning those tests, you like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? Honestly, because it's truly a test in the spirit. And once you stop looking at them like punishments and look at them like endurance, look at it like cardio, you win differently. You conquer differently, you know? And that's on the set. When you start making excuses in any areas, your friendships are different, Your friendships are different. Amounts of time starts to not be the measurement of a friendship. And the love that's poured into it, the spiritual love and how you grow. The testament to if you are around the right people or not is a testament to your daily emotions, your daily, you have to judge certain things. It's almost like Other people's problems don't really even, but other people's problems, when you move with the right people, it doesn't become a problem you take on. It becomes a challenge you welcome. Like, you know what? Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know? And that's how it feels when you went in with God. You start to say, you know what? I'm not going to run from the challenge. You start becoming David against Goliath. David didn't worry about the size. It wasn't the size of the man. It was the size of faith and love in his heart, trust in his heart. He never believed. He never doubted himself. He relied on strategy instead of physical strength. A tiny rock slayed a giant. A tiny rock slayed a giant. He didn't need to pray for muscles. He didn't need to pray to be taller. He simply carried his faith. See, when you got your faith in your pocket, you can trust that your works are good. Faith in your pocket. And I tell you, sure as my name is Tiffany, I've been so faithful in knowing God's power. Not perfect, but I've been faithful in knowing God's love and how God operates. I've been faithful in knowing that if I worry, if I could reach one, keep pushing. And God has been sending me every day someone to say, break room, I hear you. Break room, you helped me through this and didn't even know it. Every day, whether it's a text or it's a comment, there has been reassurance of how God is moving. If it's a day and somebody forgives somebody during this moment, during this movement I've been on, if I see an apology, an ounce of forgiveness, I know God's moving. I know he's moving. I know he's moving. Hmm. And I tell you this, it's restoration in the health of your spirit, truly, truly can tie into the health of your body. The health of your spirit can tie into the health of your body. You hear me? I promise you. The devil's works can make you sick. The devil's works can wear and tear on your body, while God's works are healing, while God's works are purposeful, while God's works can make you glow, make you smile, make you feel good inside. The devil will start to deplete you from the inside out. The works of the devil will start to dull out your shine. His works will start to you end up with more things on your mind to frown about than to smile about. You wake up with more complaints coming out your mouth than more praises. You heard me? Listen, Linda. The devil's energy is unhealthy because it's powered by vengeance. It's powered by hate. And the hate we take on for others is it's the effects that it has on ourselves. Straight like that. Sometimes you gotta, yeah, trust your that you gotta trust in a response, you know? And sometimes if one type of response brings in more negativity than positivity, then try a different response. Maybe you have to deactivate your own emotions and feelings. Maybe sometime getting too deep in things is showing us where we are in our spirit. You know what I'm saying? When we get too deep into the devil's works, it is showing us literally, it's measuring us with where we are with God in our life. If our mind is focused on more of the tearing down, more evil, more hate, if our mouth is spewing more negativity and hate, listen, Linda, it's going to show. It shows in our response because unbothered has no response. You heard me? Unbothered gives no response. When somebody's energy. And when you're with, hey, Smiley, how you doing? It's so good to see you. So very good to see you. But yes, sometimes our responses and how we handle things shows where we are, right? It shows how we are in our spirit. It shows us, I'm telling you, no lie. When things bother us too long, listen, the closer I get throughout my life, not just now, there's many times in my life where I'm super heavy in my word. I've ran Bible studies and things in my past and stuff like that. However, let me tell you, the longer our minds stay in doubt and confusion, it shows us where we are in our spirit. When people stay in depression and in the lows of grief and things like that, it shows you where you are in your spirit. I tell you, no lie, right? Tinkers in my amen corner. It tells you where you are in your spirit. When you constantly don't know how to handle what life throws at you, when everything always sends you spiraling, crashing out, when it takes very little, it shows you where you are in your spirit. Because we are not supposed to let worldly things control our peace and our emotions, you know? Let me see. Telling the truth, sin weighs you down. Yes, it does, Miss McCorkle. Yes. Thank you, Smiley Love. Thank you. Yes, Miss McCorkle. Sin will wear you down. And you don't know it until you're worn down. If you stay in it long enough, you don't know it till you worn down. A lot of people, I've even seen throughout the YouTube streets, over the past 4 years, 3 years, whatever it's been, you know, a lot of people has had moments of denial of how much this negative space has had on people's lives, and to the point where a lot of people ignored things because to have to acknowledge the negative effects things are taking upon you will require you to stop, to do something different, this, that, and the third, right? When you are realizing that you can end up in back and forths that requires you to be in a negative headspace or say negative things for hours, right? To when you get off, you are thinking about what negative things you gonna say about somebody the next day or whatever. It becomes a instead of a moment, it becomes a place that you're just in, you know? This goes for life. This goes for the YouTube street. This goes for anything. Period. When you stay in something long enough, It starts to just become, you know, you enter something and then something enters you. Okay, you can enter something and it could be for a moment, it could be or whatever. It's just like entering darkness. You can enter darkness, but if you stay there long enough, the darkness enters you. Come on, does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's just like if you stay with people of light, if you've been in a dark place, light can enter you. Positivity enters your life when you surround yourself with positive things and positive people. When you turn off the naysayers, when you turn off the attacks, when you turn off the negative energy, when you turn off the tear downs, when you turn all that off and you start focusing on more on who's pouring into you instead of who's trying to pour uh get you to pour out negativity. Sometimes you can find yourself spending more time having converse back and forth, which becomes a conversation that you might not be together in the physical, but we find ourselves conversing more with an enemy than those around us that love us. Spend more time on the internet going back and forth with an enemy than spending time offline with those that love us, or on the internet focused on the people who show up for you instead of our things always being about who ain't for us. Come on now. The truth hurts, but listen, pain is healing. Healing can be pain, like pain can be healing. These lives and stuff become more about responses to enemies than pouring into our chats. Because there's people out there that may need entertainment, let it be, places of entertainment. But it's also people out there who I know, like me, can feel the depletion this stuff can weigh down, and how beautiful it can feel when you learn how to, you can peek in and peek out, where you could have a moment, and you realize when you take a break, you realize it takes you to step out of some things to see how much you've been invested in some things, right? And a lot of people can still be in a place of denial where it's like they feel in control, but not, I found myself, because I knew it was my choice to do it, I felt it like I controlled what I was doing. It was okay as long as I knew I was doing it for my own reasons. But no, it was still being fueled by even if it was for humor, whatever it is, our lives become about who we don't like, and what we, these negative sentiments all the time. People spend more time focused on their enemies than showcasing the good people around them. People who've brought them some positivity in the YouTube streets. It seems like only, who you beefing with is accepted as, good content in some areas. And oftentimes you have to recognize, well, if this is all you present, which is what I enjoy teaching. I enjoy roasting and stuff, but I enjoy teaching too, and I teach on what I'm passionate about. So it's like you don't want to have to, you know, if and honestly, I get more out of teaching than I do roasting. I gave 3 years of roasting. I gave three, and I'm still gonna give laughter and funniness and comedy, of course. The humor ain't gone because I'm trying to regroup some things. But yeah, I want to be able to grow in my spirit, you know? So I want to be able to grow in my spirit. And I'd rather trade in, if I have to, it's not up for debate anymore. You know, I don't want to straddle the fence where something comes in between something else, I'd rather tap into what's good for me than just, settling, you know? So I need my channel that ties into my real life because I'm here as a real person. I want my things to be cohesive. I don't want to let have a channel that's stuck in negativity while I'm trying to, align my channel with my life. I have a positive, beautiful life surrounded by beautiful friends and family and a wonderful, beautiful husband. And I don't want to tap out of a beautiful place and always feel like I'm entering an ugly place, a negative place, a dark place. So it's almost like redecorating your home. I want to redecorate my home, you know? Maybe I don't want people here that's just looking for the tear downs, the beef. Yeah, it can be entertaining, but my life ain't built around beefing and arguing and I never came here to have to uh compare and contrast with content creators and lifestyles and all of that stuff. I came to be me, live, my channel ain't was never supposed to become about content creators and supporters. It was just supposed to be about me bringing forth who I am. And I am a humorous person. I'm a loving person, and I am a person who enjoys learning and teaching and enjoying my life. And if the corners of an area does not match up with that, it conflicts. It'll start to conflict, and I would rather get a grip on things before it clashes than to know that it will and keep going. My peace is more worth it to me than entertaining only in a certain field. I'm not going to lose my peace trying to keep up, the numbers through a certain area that was not no longer serving me peace, you know? So I've been denying, I don't want to deny myself. It served me and my channel in the way it was supposed to. But it's time for new levels. It's time for new levels. And the first rule of sanity is expecting a different result doing the same thing. And I'm not at a place where I'm looking for the masses. I'm looking for like-minded people who don't make growth seem abnormal, who don't make love seem abnormal, who don't make peaceful conversations and commentary abnormal, who doesn't make not commentating on someone else's life and problems abnormal. I do want I want to find a few people where I matter on the channel too. You know, my life journey, it's about multiple conversations and things, but this ain't it. It wasn't, it's not it's full circle with me. I mean, it makes it so much easier because I know that in my heart. My heart ain't there. My heart wants to grow. My heart ready for the next level. I'm ready for the next level. And it's some things, like I told y'all, it's my journey. Some things I am teaching myself while I'm trying to teach others what I'm learning. And I learned I gotta remove some things to welcome some other things in. So you gotta remove negativity to welcome positivity. You have to remove bad spirits to welcome in good spirits. You have to remove frivolous actions to start moving in your purpose. This is just what I had to recognize in myself. My purpose was to bring laughter and this, that, and the third. I never stopped moving in, a certain area of love and things of that nature, but my mind is somewhere else. Because listen, I'm ready for the next level of life on YouTube and off of screen. I'm ready to be at a place where people want to come see you, not see if you got a piece of lint on your wall. I want people around me that look forward to seeing my face, not judging the features of my face, but enjoying the laughter in my smile. I want people around me who appreciate how big I smile with these buck teeth until I decide to change what this smile looks like. You heard me? That embraces. I want people that love me like I love me, for me. You heard me? I don't need the masses that show up just to try to find the flaws in you. I want people around me that wants to be friendly reminders of the goodness that they see. Someone who ain't afraid to say, "Job well done. I'm proud of you." Not just sitting here and making me feel like I get more attention if I'm on some BS than when I'm trying to move in further in the light. Cause I ain't never stopped being light. I ain't never stopped being lit. I'm just looking to go brighter. Huh? I'm just looking to go brighter. You know? It's just a different, it's just a different type of wattage. You heard me? And I can't let dark things stop my purpose. You know? Yes, Smiley, you better say it. I don't care nothing about loyalty. If we're not like-minded, you gotta go. You better say it, Tinkers. I think people have lost sight of the importance of a well-fed and protected spirit, like they believe you can jump from the light to the dark and not be affected by the dark. You better say it. You can't put a timer on it. You can't put a timer on it because you don't know what's gonna happen in that darkness. You don't know. You know that's why we have to be very careful. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't acknowledge that, hey, I'm about to go into the it's like saying you're gonna spend the night in hell, but when after the weekend, after the weekend in hell, you promise you gonna get back to heaven, but you just voluntarily want a few days in hell. I don't want to be in no atmospheres that make me think that my spirit in a hellacious atmosphere is where I need to be. I don't want supporters that's rooting me to stay in darkness. I don't want that's not support. Leading my heart and my mind to dark places because somebody might get the last word or might get the last hateful comment. And I can speak on it because I used to be there. Just speaking on my growth. You heard me? I'm just speaking on my growth. I've experienced, I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. It took some steps to get to this mindset. I ain't wake up one day like, oh, I'll never do this. No, I had to start taking the works to get to you got to be conditioned to stay away from some things. You don't just take saying it and being able to do it for a day, doing it for this. No, it takes a true practice until it's habit forming, until it's a lifestyle. You hear me? See, that's how the devil work. The devil will try to tell you what step you need to skip, how it's supposed to look, how this no, 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 no. No. Cause why? The devil ain't searching my heart, the devil's searching my thoughts. The devil operating off my thoughts and my words. He not trying to search my heart. He already know what's going on in my heart. If by maneuvering off of, you know, listening to my words and my thoughts becoming my words. Especially if you say you mean what you say and you say what you mean. And if the devil know I stand on business, then he can take me at my word, right? I consider myself very much seasoned. Yes, that is not support. That is not loyalty. Right. If you only show up in a tear down, if you only show up with I'm on somebody's behind or something like that, no. I might as well go ahead and embrace the remodel. Embrace the structure. I've been here before. And every time there's a rebuild, it's to get you to where it to your purpose. Every time you might miss it. When it's time to rebuild and get closer, there's a tear down that has to happen. I never mind the tear down because the rebuild is always better. I'd rather know who's standing with me in goodness than just who's standing with me in darkness. A mad people show up in darkness. You ain't listen, Linda. Or shall I say, when it comes to doing the devil works, many people show up not praying for the battle to stop, but praying for the duel to keep going because the slaughter is entertaining. That's like being a king's jester. Make a fool of yourself for the crowd. When it comes to your spirit. And I don't want to be the devil's fool. I want him to see I can start somewhere. In the name of the Most High, you're not going to keep me from starting from somewhere. Because when I conquer one thing, I guess what? I'm moving on to the next of my checklist. I'm moving on to the next part of my checklist. You want to confuse me and make me feel like I can't talk about the word until you want me to think that I need to be approved by someone else to preach the word. The devil want me to think that I need another person who breathes the same air as me to spread the gospel, huh? Because last time that I checked, the disciples did not have to be Jesus. What Jesus told the disciples to spread the word. Do you hear me? Come through. People don't be ready for me. I simplify this thing. When it comes to this good word, listen, I can come layman's terms or technical. You hear me? Straight like that. Don't require us to be perfect. It don't require us to be ordained by a person. It requires us to get ordained with the Most High. It's some ordained pastors out here teaching the word that don't understand the word. They just read the word, they understand the storyline of the word, but they listen, Linda. It's a lot that's misinterpreted about God's word, that's misunderstood. Oftentimes in some places used for evil. That didn't make the word evil, that made the people whose hands the word was in evil. See, the devil have you thinking otherwise. The devil will have you thinking, well, look what the Bible was used for, huh? They don't want you to think about the person who used it for evil. The devil will send people out here to tell you things like the word is no good. It was used for slavery. It was used for this. A baseball bat is created to hit balls, but people have used baseball bats for malicious intent. Ain't it so? Ain't it so? People done hit some things with a baseball bat that wasn't a ball. You heard me? It was used for something that it was not necessarily made for, huh? See, the devil will get you all mixed up into thinking about the messenger instead of the message. The devil wants you focused on the vessel instead of the spirit. Well, the Bible's been used for it. The Bible was used for evil. So it makes the Bible evil. No, it means that those who were using it for evil was operating in evil. You can turn a weapon of good into a weapon of evil, just like your tongue. I'm sure we wasn't given a tongue to condemn and tear down each other with it. But though it can be used for that, it wasn't made for that. You feel me? Just like the earth was made for God's purpose, yet it has become a place filled with man's purpose, man's greed. God ain't put a tax on the earth. Yet in all, it's a price on surviving on a place that God built for all of us to have our needs sustained. God didn't plant the put the trees here and this beautiful land and says that any one person gets to determine what part of it a person can make their home. It's become a place built off of money. Everything man makes is for money. This place was made for a place of purpose. We were made for a purpose. People get comfortable in their free will. And then look, we wonder why uh uh love is not what's operated in. We wonder why it's more negative things happening around the world than positive. We wonder why the positivity gets whispered, but bad things gets raised up and exploited and put out there. Somebody has to be the voice of good, the voice of positivity, the voice of a new level in the spirit. Let me see. So what you do is to distract you of your purpose. Absolutely. Let me see. Break room, I'm finding it challenging to simply ignore the undeserved negativity thrown at me, though. But I'm giving it my best shot. You know what? Before you leave here, I promise you, listen, I missed your comment and it was meant for me to see it by way of the chat responding to you. Y'all just got to pay attention to how God moves. Listen, Linda, listen. Miss Sean B, I have seen a change in you are a great testament to um I'm glad you share these things because it shows us too that You are another one that while we're working on that spirit, the devil doesn't stop moving. And this is why my words, I know are God powered. They come from my heart for real, for real. You just like me going to be tested because you have a different thought process, right? When you were in it quick to respond, just like me, it's what you are operating in, right? And you are trying to see things different, move different, understand things different, and it's causing because you're understanding the battle more and more each day. It seems that the battle is trying to be more in your face, it more prevalent. It could be louder, it could be stronger, but understand whatever vessel is attacking you is what the devil is using to test you in your season. You are in your season too. Your journey may be different as far as what you're all of us are in a season, huh? If you are trying to get closer to God in any way, listen, these are the tactics to scare us away from the next level. You hear me? Look how God returned that blessing right back to me, right? When I ain't make it about the attacks of the devil, I made it about his word. When you understand that the attacks aren't going to stop because of the change in our heart, the attack's going to try to get stronger. The devil is going to try to attack us more and more. Dude, he's not focused on who already doing his works, who already knows they're going to wake up tomorrow and continue their works. They're worried about the people who are changing some things in their heart and in their thoughts. That's who he's focused on. That should let you know you doing something right in your spirit because the devil notices. That's the only reason why you still notice it. And I'm here to tell you and declare, get thee behind us, Satan. Okay? Because that ain't nothing but what that is. It's just you being tested in your spirit. Don't ever think that Satan, once you start aligning your spirit and God, Satan still wants your soul. That's who he for. Do you think Satan kicking it around in areas where he already has people moving for him? That's how he trick us. People think that they are at one with life when they ain't going through nothing. No, I would recheck some things. When you don't even notice this, it's an attack because you're in it. That means you in it. When it's easy to jump into it and jump in with on the devil's playground, when it's easy to, when it's not a second thought, it's because we there. We're sitting behind the fence looking at the devil swing. We might not be officially in there walking through the park, but the devil noticed that we took notice of the park. He noticed that the park has his attention. He noticed that, you can't find a spiritual swing, so you now are looking at my swing. Come play. Come play. Come play. Let you. And next thing you know, boom, you say you just gonna try out the swings. Next thing you know, you going down the sliding board, you on the merry-go-round, you on the seesaw, and everywhere. You forget your spiritual curfew and everything. That's how it works. It provides a moment for it to be okay. It provides a moment that our spirit might be a little weakened. Anytime that we want to go back into the devil, or even that it shows itself, it's just a test. The test is our response. We show the devil won't win by not allowing that spirit to be take our focus. It wants you to focus on the negativity instead of the movement within yourself. That's only the test. You're not gonna stop being tested. It's you being tried out, you know? You got this. Remember when my testing things were first starting, my name was being called out in places I had nothing to do with, in some places where, people's vengeance was ruling over them, wanting me to get back into the mud, all of that. All of that. I had to start understanding that if somebody can get me to do something, or in their mind, like, even if you can say something, and even if in my mind I'm choosing to respond, if you can get me to acknowledge you, that you even, it's like, let the devil watch us. We shouldn't be watching the devil. So it allows us, these things, noticing these things and our roles in things, allow us to assert ourselves. I told y'all yesterday, we have to move away from, when we're acknowledging something that needs to happen, whether it's to um uh remove the weeds and bad fruit and things out of our life. That is our thing to do. We can't wait for someone else to stop being evil, for someone else to stop moving in the devil's spirit, right? If we remove the devil's works out of us, the devil fruits out of us, people who are of the devil's fruits and works will be removed from us too. That's the first step, is not worrying about the it's about the result. The result is to weaken the devil's tricks. The So you weaken these things by what? It's only fueled by the attention and the response that it gets, right? Things in our life are fueled by the response that it gets. The devil sees what worries us. If we can say this and say that, but it only works when our heart is behind our words. That's how I know that my heart is in the right place, because I've said some things and it has come into fruition. When I said wasn't what I wasn't going to worry about, what the devil wanted me to worry about was restored. You heard me? Thank you, Brother Allen. Love you much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Break room. Me and my sisters were just talking about how there used to be fruit trees all around our neighborhood, and they took them all down just to charge us for the fruit that God gave us to enjoy. Yep. And you got to think about that, you know? And a lot of things in our life, we get this thing becomes a norm where we forget how God set this thing up, to where the devil sets things up for us to worry about things like money, worry about things like to where money becomes our main life focus. Imagine how many people that there has forgotten all about their spirit, because we're set up in this life to have to, for convenience, right? We pay for convenience. It is easier to living off the grid and things like that. It requires more work, but it gives more freedom. It gives more freedom to pockets and things like that. Why you think a lot of people are choosing van life? They're choosing that's another thing I'm going to talk about tomorrow, as the choices and things that the economy, so to speak, has driven people to make some different choices in their life. People are becoming less rooted and setting up their life. I read something where um a actual school teacher, and also a person who works at a bank or whatnot, they live in their vans and have for months. And I want to tell y'all their story tomorrow. We'll talk about that. But however, my purpose of saying this is because man got a hold of things, and it became about who had the most power, who had the most weight behind them or whatever determine who got to rule some things. You understand? And it's sad. It is sad because we should all be living in God's riches. No part of the universe should be, not one person should have access to what God put in the earth, according to me. Like when it comes to jewels, gyms and things like that, who in charge of what God put in the earth? Like you should be able to go mine your own diamonds and create your own crowns. God made us all into royalty, but where did this line of on the pyramid come in at? It's crazy works. And then it becomes where you stay so overcharged financially that it becomes nothing but labor that you don't even get to enjoy the fruits of because of having to work so hard for the upkeep. It keeps your mind troubled. Something always is due, something always is coming up, or this, that, and the third, because that's how the things were set up for. It was set up for convenience to cost. It was set up to wanting the easier road, which requires more worry, more stress, right? People tend to forget, when it comes to lights, God didn't move by light switches and things like that. It was even said in the Bible that we should do our works by daylight, rest and pray by night, right? But it is how things were set up to where you have jobs, you have instead of focusing on the word and the fruits that God have provided, it was set up for you to always be in someone's pocket to live. You have to pay for land taxes that God put the land here. And in the Bible, I don't recall seeing, people became in charge of things, as it went on. But when it starts from the beginning, man and woman was told a certain purpose. They were told to multiply, and for God's purpose, not their own. They weren't told to have kids for their own purposes. It was told to multiply, have more hands to till the beautiful earth and to prepare to serve God's purpose. It was for to take care of this beautiful planet, you know? It wasn't to make it just a place that was about um, not enjoying life. Finances should have never became a part of the quality of our life. But because money is the root of all evil, life is set up for even people who love God to have to worry about finances to live, right? Because society has taught people to be rooted in one place because it tells you your life. I'm telling you, a lot of things start making sense when you start seeing how how things were and how things are. You know what I'm saying? How things were and how things are. We in the Bible, it tells us to move around, to spread God's word. It doesn't tell us to root down in one place. Why do you think the tower was the tower was knocked down, and people's languages, God stirred up the languages, God mixed up everyone's language because everyone was afraid to move out of their comfort zone. They wanted to be where they understood people but wasn't under the people around them, but they weren't concerned with understanding God's true purpose and word. He didn't want people to stay stagnated in one place. He wanted people to um um travel about this planet, this beautiful planet, spreading the good news, cultivating the trees. Why do you think destruction happens? Why do you think something always happen that be wiping out the masses? Because that's exactly what happened with the flood. When God is unpleased, when man ain't doing right, what happens? Man has gotten wiped out before. Man has gotten wiped out before. Think about natural disasters that wipe out millions of people, that does um um catastrophic things, you know? It never was about destroying his works. It's really that his works is destroying his works. Us is his works. Man is his works. We have made it about pockets and less about the spirit. People are comparing houses instead of comparing hearts. They're more focused on riches on the outside and not the inside. It's crazy work. So I hope that somebody gathered that the devil, it will test your life. And he will test you through things that he feel can get to you easily. He tests you in things that that you set your sights on, that is not of God. When you focus on certain things, like the devil thought that touching me and my finances was going to keep me needing the finances more than keeping God's word. And guess what? He learned today. See, the real enemy is the real enemy that can trap you within. When you know how to combat the enemy within, the ones on the outside carry little weight, Miss Sean B. I don't know if you're still with me, but the message is still that part was for yours for the taking. You heard me? Real rap. The true enemy is the enemy we have to combat within. When we tapped on the right things within, the things on the outside don't even penetrate us no more. We moving in a different direction. If for some reason and this is also how I test myself, you know, anytime my sights are set on something, it kind of help me measure where I am, you know. Because to to look at something we consider below us in spirit means that we have to look into our lower spirit to see those things that enter our lower spirit. We hold our enemies in places that they shouldn't be, in our thoughts, in our minds. We have to look back, look down, in order to see things that are beneath our spirit, that's on the opposite side of where we go, and we have to look in a different direction except where we're going. And that's what the enemy wants from us. Your physical enemies and the enemy within. They want you looking back. They want you to be distracted with things below your spirit. They want you to be trapped with things behind you. That's why sometimes your enemy can attack your past, because the enemy wants you to not focus on who you are and where you at and where you're going. The enemy sometimes will try to drag you back to somewhere that you were. They want you to listen, Linda, if you ever heard somebody in your life, a negative person or this, that, and the third you beefing with, will bring up your past, or tell you, if you trying to make a change, will say things like it's not gonna work, it ain't gonna last. Nope. Said it before, did it before, did this, did that, all of that evil stuff, right? Let me tell you, real talk. They say that God's moment is today. The enemy is focused on you, worried about tomorrow, and the enemy wants you trapped in who you were yesterday. The enemy loves yesterdays. If you ever focus on me, See, I don't be out here to be nobody's enemy. It's why when I go through a back and forth, I usually stay to the point, to what we're arguing about. I don't really care what you did when you was, that's a rarity. That's about 98% of my back and forth. You're not gonna see me caring about what your charges are, what you did here, there, anywhere. Whatever got us in the moment we are right now is what I normally focus on, right? In an argument. But you could be arguing with somebody, child, that wants to lie on your past, bring up your past. Look what you did in 1935. Look what you did in 1922. Look what you did in 1997. Look what you did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this, that, and the third. They try to distract. If they can't attack who you are right now, they'll try to attack any flaws in your past, huh? They'll want to make you feel like what you are today ain't no good because you may have had some moments in your past, right? They don't even got to be horrible things. We all have, we've all had to be raised, right? For a moment, because you speak on everything I've been saying and thinking. Come through, sis. That's because we all been on one accord. Thank you so much, Breaker. You are making me give myself a self-examination. I want to be ready when God comes back. Come through. Come through. Because in order for us to be ready, Miss McCorkle, we got to get ready, right? Get ready requires us to do some things. You heard me? My daddy used to say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right? So we don't have to worry about if we gonna have time tomorrow if we start to if we start to focus on course today. Because I promise you all, like life is showing us that not only in order to get there, like we have to bring in the right fruits right now into our lives. We have to. Tomorrow, the devil wants us to focus on tomorrow is good enough. Tomorrow will work. Tomorrow will be good enough. How do we think in this way when tomorrow may never come? We can forgive tomorrow. We can love tomorrow. We can correct ourselves tomorrow for the mistakes we make today. No, we can't prep negativity. We can't put negative things a priority today and put positive things on standby for tomorrow. We can't let the enemy turn past negative things into whatever positivity and good energy you want to take on today. God focus on what we are becoming, what we're doing today. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow ain't promised. Today is all we have, the present moment. If Judgment Day was to happen today, is it well within your soul? My grandmama used to sing that song. See, you don't fear death. You don't fear nothing when it is well within your soul. It is well with my soul. See, I'm not trying to be unwell in my soul because somebody attacking me unwell in their soul. Huh? See, I'm not going to stay unhealed because you would rather embrace the wounds because you getting too comfortable in the wounds of your heart instead of healing in your heart. See, I'm not going to turn back because the enemy ain't ready. Huh? I'm not going to turn back because it's really your enemy that fears changing. Your enemy don't want you to change because they can't. Huh? Your enemy keep wanting to whisper out there, oh, you'll be back. Or, oh, they want to antagonize you. They want to reel you in. Straight like that. The enemy wants you to catch them whispers. They want you to care enough about their words that you hear it, that you evaluating things. You have to let your enemy do their job. They don't need your attention while they doing it. They don't need your acknowledgement while they doing it. They fueled every time you peak, every time you See, I'd rather listen, Linda. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. What them enemies do for us? Nothing. If you negative, all you gonna bring to be is negativity. What I need to focus on you for? If giving you a if looking your direction brings something negative in my direction, why do I need to see you? Why do you need to? Why? If thinking about you don't bring good thoughts, what I need to leave you in my mind for? See, what I'm learning is that the choice is mine. The power is in my hand because I give all power to the Most High. When I acknowledge how powerful the Most High is, power is a level of power that get put in my hand. Thank you so much, Miss Shawn. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, sweetie pie. Straight like that. Thank you, baby doll. So yeah, that's how we combat that. You have no power over me. Ain't no need for me to, only the devil wants me to look your direction. They want me to hear what you got to say. If I already know you ain't got nothing good for me, I don't need to check up on your spirit. Your spirit is not my problem. I can offer you a better direction. I can give you some advice. It's yours to take it. I can't make it my mission to wait around for you to take that advice. All I can do is not be a gatekeeper and tell you I would rather accept God and know that in doing that, it's really just pushing me to goodness and righteousness. It's just pushing me to focus on doing the right thing. Denying God is only leaving a entrance to not having a focus on bad or good. It's to accept that all is acceptable when it shouldn't be. All it's telling us is don't let go of your integrity. Don't step outside that box. When you're doing it for you, you got to be prepared to do it alone, even if you don't have to. You got to know that if nobody pulls up to hear your word, do you still have a word in you? Do you still have a word in you? Do you need your neighbor to make a joyful noise? Sometimes you got to get started. Who's meant to join the journey gonna join. Don't wait to start the journey based on who says I'm coming along. No, because if you do what things based on other people, that means when other people factors in what's gonna last and what's not. You got to do things according to your own spiritual alignment. That's the only way to make it stick. Don't start changing your ways because people around you changing their ways. You gotta want to change some things within yourself first, or else if those people stop changing their ways and go back and get in a dark place, are you? Is your journey the crowd's journey or your journey? Are you in denial? Do you know your spirit needs some work, but you in denial? All this does is show us where we are spiritually. Everybody ain't ready. That's why you have to be prepared to go it alone. You can't base your journey on the next person. You can't say, well, I'll wait. Sometimes you might miss the boat. You might miss the boat. Waiting on somebody else to finish packing. Straight like that. So with that being said, y'all, I just encourage y'all to focus on knowing what your response should be, and if your response to a problem is necessarily going to lead you to a positive result, is complaining about it, is trying to curse the situation or this, that, and the third. Always focus on what's going to turn something into something better. If it only adds on to where it's at, if it only adds on, if you negative does not stop negativity. It does not. It only adds on, it only fuels. Truth be told. Truth be told, it's both catching. I want to be aligned with those that make doing good feel normal, to make being in a different zone. I mean, we go from 100% in darkness to feeling like we can't take a step out without it being ready for 100% light. That's not how this thing works. It's you got to be willing to start somewhere. You got to at least be willing to notice the light, notice that the light is there for you, to even know that the light is an option. You heard me? The last thing you can do is stagnate your spirit and yourself, trying to stay aligned with the crowd. So yes, y'all, I had to speak with my husband real quick. But so yes, you gotta stop waiting, because baby, you adding on, you waiting for somebody else to get out the darkness is making your journey that much longer. That person might not be ready for a year, 6 months, 10 years. Don't let your loyalty keep you in darkness. Don't be loyal to the darkness. A lot of times that's what it is. It's not being loyal to someone. If you are keeping yourself loyal to someone in darkness, you keeping yourself loyal to darkness. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, you gotta pray about it. You ain't gotta listen, I'm here when you ready or whatever. But sometimes you gotta go at it alone. You got to say, listen, I can't stay here. I can't stay in this place. I can't, because listen, you got to live with your mind. You got to live with your actions. You got to live with your spirit, not your neighbor, not your friend. You got to be loyal to your spirit. Don't lose your spirit trying to be loyal to a person, a supporter, a content creator. Don't lose yourself trying to be loyal to a relationship. If something doesn't produce good fruit within your spirit, you can't say that was a gift from God. God gonna align you with someone that's going to help push his purpose. A lot of times we get whatever our heart's desire is and say, ooh, God blessed me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's a difference between getting what you want and getting what God has for you. What God has for you is going to always bring you closer to him. Nothing God gives you is going to be to pull you away from him. No test, no person, no friendship, no group, no channel, no job, no nothing. Nothing. Now, with that being said, I love you all so much. I continue to tell you to, focus on your result and making sure that your result, focus on your response and make sure your response will lead you to the result you're looking for. All right. And know that if you're looking for a positive change, it can't be combated through negativity. If you're looking for good, it can't be uh received through evil. And we have to open our minds and our hearts for good. We can't be one-sided. We can't be spewing out things, and we just got to make some changes. So I just encourage everyone to, if you are ready, not because I'm ready, whenever you're ready, I'm here. I'm thankful for those that bring a ear in here, bring their heart in here, bring understanding in here. I am going to do a live tomorrow about these different lifestyles that people are living due to the economy. Again, I told you guys, as we stay in the wonderful word, we also will be kicking into some of my other conversations I'm passionate about, which is finances, human behaviors, also enjoying some of you guys' time with game nights and things like that. So look forward to us mixing and matching different areas and subjects and growing together in spirit and in truth, and also growing in the navigation of the world that we live in, right? So each one teach one, we gonna reach one. Also, do not be afraid to come up anytime you guys want to grab the link and add on to anything I'm talking about. You do not have to wait to say anything, or you don't have to wait to be offered. Just let me know. Even if I have a certain time reserved for it, just let me know. If we're talking about something, you want to come up and embrace the moment and spread some positivity or a scripture or the word or some good advice on any subject we're having, please feel free to. I welcome it. All right. Because I'm also here to learn from you guys too. And I truly enjoy y'all company. Thank you for this journey of us keeping the word alive. And we're going to continue to do so. But yeah, if there's other things you guys want to talk about, just with everyday life, relationships, love, any of that, feel free to let me know. Shoot me a message or let me know in a chat. All right. And we can tap into it. Okay. So I look forward to just keeping pushing and growing together and knowing we don't have to do it as if we're already perfect, but just knowing that we're worth it. So shout out to everybody who's come in. Thank you to every person who blessed this live today with jewels and gifts of love. Mom of three, Sister Gal, Tinkers, TC. TC again, TC again, TC again, TC again, TC again, Tinkers again, TC again, TC again, beautiful queen again, TC again, beautiful queen again, beautiful queen again, beautiful queen again, TC again, beautiful queen again, TC again, Miss Kathy, Brother Allen, Miss Sean. Thank you all so very much. I've enjoyed this. And y'all, let's not be afraid to grow and learn. If you've been here at any point, it's because it might be a new level on your horizon. You heard me? I'm certainly embracing mine. Shout out to those that I'm aligned with, of like-mindedness and spirit and in the heart and truth, all of that. I love y'all. I love you, mods. I love you, GGs. I love you, 411 family. You are wonderful and beautifully made. You heard me? Until we meet again, either later today or perhaps tomorrow, I bid you all adieu. May you be blessed and be a blessing. Shout out.